Welcome to the tour of the cell, where we will be discussing the different organelles that perform unique jobs within the amazing cell. The cell is one of the most complex structures in existence. Inside each molecule, the basic components for life exist, and this virtual tour is meant to explain each of these structures in detail. The first stop is the endomembrane system. This includes the examination of the nucleus, nuclear envelope, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, and protein trafficking. Let's go on to explore the nucleus. The nucleus contains the necessary genetic material required for life. An organism's DNA is stored in the nucleus as a chromosome. Organisms with a nucleus are called eukaryotic, and those without one are prokaryotic. The nucleus contains many organelles that will be discussed later on in the tour. Now to the nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope surrounds and protects the nucleus, creating an inner and outer membrane held together by a lipid bilayer protein. The endoplasmic reticulum, sometimes known as the ER, is comprised of a sac-like structure and can appear bumpy or rough because of attached ribosomes, or smooth when it lacks ribosomes. It surrounds the nucleus and is the site for protein production, where these proteins later emerge through vesicles, where they are later received by the Golgi body. The Golgi body, also known as the Golgi apparatus, not only receives proteins through vesicles, but they also sort these proteins so that they can later be used throughout the cell. This is also where carbohydrates are produced. The proteins produced in the endoplasmic reticulum and sorted in the Golgi body are sent down vesicles and shipped throughout the cell. Many of these proteins can be sent to the plasma membrane and form a lipid bilayer. We will now explore the function of the cell membrane in the cytoplasm. The cell membrane, also referred to as the plasma membrane, is a highly selective barrier that only allows passage of nutrients, oxygen, and waste throughout the cell. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that is present throughout the entire cell, from the nucleus to the cell wall. The function of the cytoplasm is to hold all of the organelles and cell parts. It is a vital part of the cell as it maintains shape and consistency. Now the great mitochondria. The mitochondria packages the energy from the food you eat into ATP molecules through cellular respiration. It provides energy for both plant and animal cells. Every cell has a different number of mitochondria. There are more mitochondria in cells that have to perform lots of work, for example, your leg muscle cells, heart muscle cells, etc. Other cells need less energy to do their work and have less mitochondria. Parts of a mitochondria are the outer mitochondrial membrane, the inner membrane space, which is the space between the outer and inner membranes, the inner mitochondrial membrane, the crista, which is formed by enfoldings of the inner membrane, and the matrix, which is the space within the inner membrane. Mitochondria are rod-shaped organelles with an outer membrane and a highly convoluted inner membrane, whose folds project into the interior. They are nearly present in nearly all eukaryotic cells. Mitochondria harness energy from chemical compounds like sugars and convert it into ATP, which is why there is a controversial saying that mitochondria serves as the universal energy currency of the cell. ATP is able to drive the many chemical reactions in the cell. Mitochondria originated as endosymbiotic bacteria. The endosymbiotic hypothesis for the origin of mitochondria and chloroplasts suggests that mitochondria are descended from specialized bacteria that somehow survived endocytosis by another species of prokaryote or some other cell type and became incorporated into the cytoplasm. The outer membrane is a relatively simple phospholipid bilayer containing protein structures called porins, which render it permeable molecules like ions, ATP and ADP. The inner membrane is freely permeable only to oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water. Its structure is highly complex, including all the complexes of the electron transport system, the ATP synthase complex, and transport proteins. Let's go on to discuss the cytoskeleton and its main elements as well as microbodies, which include lysosomes and peroxisomes. The cytoskeleton performs many different jobs within the cell. It maintains the cell shape and secures organelles within the cell in specific positions. The cytoskeleton also allows vesicles in the cytoplasm to move within the cell and ultimately enables a single-celled organism to move independently. The cytoskeleton is composed of 3 types of fiber, including microfilaments, intermediate microfilaments, and microtubules. Microfilaments are the narrowest of the 3 protein fibers. They provide rigidness and shape to the cell and can also disassemble and reassemble quickly, allowing the cell to change its shape and move. It is composed of 2 intertwined strands of the actin, which are powered by ATP, that serves as a lane for myosin. The intermediate microfilaments are made up of several strands of fibrous proteins that are wounded together. Their purpose is to provide structure of the cytoskeleton as it bears tension, allowing for the maintenance of the structure. Microtubules can disassemble and reassemble quickly. They are of the widest component of the cytoskeleton that helps cells resist compression. They provide a lane for vesicles to move through the cell and pull replicated chromosomes to the opposite ends of the dividing cell. Now on to the microbodies. Peroxisomes break down fatty acid chains by beta oxidation. In eukaryotes, the fatty acid chain is broken down to medium-chain fatty acids, which are taken by mitochondria and then broken down to carbon dioxide and water. Peroxisomes also detoxify poisons. Lysosomes are capable of combining with other organelles and consume large structures or cellular debris. They contain enzymes which enable the cell to break down peptides, nucleic acids, carbohydrates, and lipids, which are then used throughout the cell. We know that was a lot of information, but you have now explored the great organelles of the cell. We hope that you have enjoyed our tour and thank you for allowing us to be your guide. Have a great day!